Justice Court needs to get back, and to invite her forward to present, and we'll have a short break after her presentation and some Q&A. If you need to take a break now, then feel free. So I'd like to invite Judge Brisbane forward, and we'll present Justice Court.
Justice. Okay, compensation, and that's going to get interesting. Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, Commissioners, and members of the committee. Okay, I'm on page 2 of the slides. Justice Court receives violation citations from 41 different agencies in the listed categories on slide 2. The state park rangers that are working at McIver State Park are the newest addition to citing officers who will be issuing citations. In the past, the state parks relied on the Oregon State Police to issue violations, but now they have 3 rangers that have citing authority, so they will be issuing the citations. The court adjudicates over 23,000 violations per year. That doesn't mean that the judge is seeing 23,000 people, because individuals can enter a plea by phone, pay by mail, pay by phone, pay online, or see a violations clerk at the front counter window. The judge does hear all the trials, reads all the letters that come in from citizens through the year, and a citizen can see the judge at the first appearance. So there's a lot of face-to-face contact between the judge and citizens, but the judge does not see 23,000 people. Justice Court opened its civil division in December 2012, and we heard 259 cases that year. The projected number of cases for the upcoming year is over 2,000, and that is primarily a service for local citizens. We have a convenient location and plenty of free parking as well. The total division budget figure is the overall revenue that it is expected for the next budget year. As far as our accomplishment, we recently on May 1 went live with a new court management software. We're still working on the customization of the software, but it does assist staff because the technology has streamlined the staff's work. The amount of data that has to be hand entered has been reduced, and we will be relying on some additional reporting through the technology that will help us with the financial pieces. Some specific technology projects that we're currently working on is that very soon we will be able to email the court judgments and orders directly from the courtroom in real time to the lawyer's office. So before the attorney actually leaves the courtroom, the staff back at the office will have a copy of the order. Also, we are installing signature pads at the front counter window, so someone signs a payment plan agreement or signs a receipt for a payment, that will automatically attach to the citizen's case. The staff person will print that out, give the paper copy to the citizen, but we will have no paper in the court, and it will already be, the court staff doesn't have to print it out, scan it to the case, and then give it to the citizen, which is the current process. The technology will automatically put that document into the file for the clerk, and so the clerk only has to give the copy to the citizen as they leave. As far as the contingency budget funds, the purpose of that fund is to cover any unanticipated expense. Since it's unanticipated, I doubt that revenue will be used for any purpose during this budget year. So toward the end of the year, that money will be transferred back to the general fund for use for other departments. I indicated that there were no significant issues or changes, but as you know, the state legislature is currently meeting. And it looks like they will be passing a bill that increases fines for violations by $5. That $5 will be sent directly back to the state. So it won't be retained here in the local county for our use, or for the county's use. Currently, the court sends the first $45 of every violation fined to the state, so this would increase it by $5, so the first $50 would go to the state. If someone comes in and sets up a payment plan after they plead no contest or they're found guilty at trial and they pay their first $50 up front, and we never see them again, that $50 is with the state. So the state makes sure that their portion is paid up front. Anyway, that law is probably going to pass, and that was an unknown. That was a total surprise to those of us who follow the legislature closely. That wasn't publicized at all, so that was a surprise. Again, our total department budget is the court's projected revenue, the $3,000,007 figure that you see there. Out of that, about $85,000 is the civil division revenue. $1,345,000 is in a special payments category. That money is returned to the state government or local cities who write citations into the court. So for example, if a Canby police officer is outside the city limits of Canby and issues a citation to justice court, half of the revenue, after we pay the first $45 to the state, half of the revenue for that fine goes back to the city of Canby. And for the state police who are issuing all their violations to our court, since they're a state agency, half their fine goes back to the state. And that's our special payments category. In addition, there's restricted revenue, $200,000 approximately in this last year's county assessment. That money is used for jail, drug and alcohol programs, including the juveniles. And also the court security fund is part of the county assessment. That money is used for the circuit court security. And then there's about $1,305,683 revenue in the general fund that you're going to be deciding how to allocate and spend. As far as capital projects, Justice Court operated in a temporary facility when it opened in 2012. We stayed there until the spring of 2014, and the facilities project remodeled the former library space at Clackamas Corner, which is in the parking lot of Clackamas Town Center, where the court is currently operating, and we have an option for a 20-year lease at that location. In summary, Justice Court is a stable, self-funding department, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Ed, do you have a question? Or comment? Yeah, go ahead.
So I need to ask this question, and do you offer schools or for a violator to, rather than be charged or have something on their record?
No.
Do you offer school?
No.
Okay. And can you tell us why not?
Because, excuse me, because it's not, well, everything that Justice Court does is set in Oregon statutes, down to the penny of the revenue where it's dispersed, how it's collected, including programs such as that. So courts are allowed to add education programs if a person's convicted or pleads no contest, and we do that, especially for the MIP alcohol, the minor in possession of marijuana now, and that law was just modified April 21, so the marijuana and alcohol violators will be treated the same. They have a 1-year driver's license suspension. They're required to take some education on a first offense. They can reinstate their privileges in 90 days if they do certain things that the court's allowed to order. But there's nothing specifically in Oregon law that says a court can dismiss a case if somebody takes an education class. And in fact, some of those people that have been given that opportunity, in fact, yesterday, one young lady was in the court right after receiving one of those. So, from a different agency.
And what was the result of that?
Well, she was convicted of a speeding violation, then she was allowed to have a case dismissed, and then she came back in with another speeding violation, failing to drive within a lane and minor in possession of marijuana. So if you're asking if education makes a difference, I'm not seeing that.
Okay,
There's no statistics, and what I see doesn't back it up.
thank you, Your Honor. The other thing is, if I'm a violator and I come in and you find me, hope that doesn't happen, but
So far, it hasn't, because I know you.
I've been lucky. My question is, if I can't pay the whole bill, what happens then?
We have payment plans.
Okay,
We like to encourage people to pay a minimum of $50 a month, but if they're on a fixed income or a disability, then that's seen by me and I make adjustments. So we have people paying $25 a month, $20 a month, lower amounts, starting at a later time. If they get in a pinch, they can contact us and we'll let them wait a month before they make another payment, if they're in touch with us.
do they have to pay a fee to go through this payment plan?
There's a one-time $50 administrative fee to offset the clerk's time of processing these cases every month. But if they pay within the first week that they're there in full, and many people do, then in other words, if they start a payment plan but pay in full in the next few days, then that fee is reversed.
Okay, and that fee's $50 regardless of how much the fine was.
True.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Eric, you have a couple questions?
I just have one, Your Honor. You indicated that you were currently operating at the Clackamas Town Center?
In the-
In leased facilities?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
How
know where
long have-
On Point Credit Union is? The On Point Credit Union, we're right next door in the former library space.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Come and visit us. There's free parking.
Lots of free parking.
And the Max Green Line is right there as
Yeah.
well.
And so how long is that lease for?
20 years,
Okay. And how many years?
an
it-
option. We opened in 2014.
Okay, with a 20-year lease?
Yes.
With an option to renew for another 20?
Well, no, I think we've signed for either 5 or 10 years, and then we can renew it
Okay,
for up to 20.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? We thank you for
Making as many.
No
patience
problem.
and being
Thank
here.
you.
We hope we just see you once a year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.